are going to be buffing a build that I've been using a lot this season in Edge of Fate. It's going to be your ultimate support Titan build for fire teams, and it's also going to come in very clutch for solo. It does now, and it will next season as well, because there's a couple of things. Let's read what they've said first. So, in the patch notes, well, not the patch notes, but in last week's tweet, Crest of Alpha Lupi, over the past year we have seen a lot of love when it comes to the new additions of things like the support frame autos. With the Edge of Fate, we took a look at some of the other clearly support-oriented exotics that aren't as popular to give them a leg up to modern sandbox standards. Starting with Crest of Alpha Lupi, we wanted to keep it subclass agnostic, which means it doesn't matter what class you're on, while letting it feel like the one-stop shop for the support Titan fantasy. Here's what they'll be buffing. Added additional effects. Sustained damage while behind a barricade triggers smaller healing pulse. Healing your allies grants barricade energy. That's two major things, right? The reason why that's so huge is, first and foremost, this mod here is leaving the game. Volatile Marksman will not exist next season. This presents a bit of a problem for bolt charge Stormscape Titans. You can get away without using this and still sort of spam your barricade back to back. However, it's going to present a bit of a problem when this mod goes away, slight. And what they're doing with the Lupi is they're going to give you this perk, Volatile Marksman. They're going to repackage it and put it on Lupi, but it won't have the void detonations built into it. So it won't be as good as what we get now, but it'd be something similar where you can pop a barricade and stay alive and stay alive and stay alive. Not only that, if you're in a raid and there's 6 of you and a support Titan with Lupi pops his shield, he's going to keep getting his shield back because he's healed his allies. Now on a solo basis, as long as that playback loop is there, where you can pop a barricade right after that one finishes, which you should be able to on the new armor system, that's going to make it so that you can solo DPS a raid boss, a dungeon boss. I mean, if there was a raid boss you solo, then, you get the picture. Or if you're in a solo GM and you keep getting health back behind a barricade, that's going to mean that Stormscape Titan can still exist next season. We don't know what the bolt charges are going to be damage-wise next season. And even if they don't touch bolt charge damage, and it's just the artifact mods that are going, then Stormscape Bolt Charge Titan's still going to be a good spot with Lupi, with Crest of Alpha Lupi. So let's read on what it's. So I hope you understand why this is important. It's dead important that what I've read. You might need to rewind it and listen to it back. This is what Lupi does in the game now. On barricade placement or thruster usage, instantly restores health and shields to the wielder and allies in line of sight within 12 meters. Barricade restores 80 health, which is sizable. Even in PvE, that's a lot. And 75 shields. Thruster restores 60 health, incurs a 5-second cooldown between heal and pulses. Healing allies grants so much class ability energy. There you go. Dealing damage while behind a barricade triggers a heal and pulse. That's only one heal and pulse you get. On the update, you're going to get this heal and pulse on sustained damage. So there's going to be more of a playback loop with Crest of Alpha Lupi. Super abilities generate an extra orb of power that grants 7.14% super energy. Ward of Dawn generates a total of 4 orbs, each granting 3.5% super energy. Water of Dawn normally generates 3 orbs worth 2.3% energy, etc, etc. The orb situation with it isn't that much of a factor, but it isn't half bad. I don't think it's the main factor that what draws us to Crest. What draws us is that health regen. And even now, like I use Crest this start of this season to solo all my initial GMs. I was on Crest. I done a minus 97 GM Delta. Yeah, I was nearly 100 levels under, and I soloed the GM with this, I believe. I think so. Can't remember. I think it was either this or Synfos. I think it was this I used, everybody. I soloed a GM 97 levels under with Crest. You're very tanky with this. Don't let people deceive you and say it's bad. It says, how is it bad? In what situation is this bad? It isn't. And it'll only be better next season because we're losing volatile marksmen. Dead important information. Alright, so you've had that information. Let's go for a build quickly. I'm going to just go spitfire through it quick. Fists of Havoc, Rally Barricade, Seismic Strike, Flashbang Grenade, Storm's Keep, Knockout. Fragments of Shock, Spark of Shock Resistance, Focus is a big one. It's a nice one. It's nice to have. And Spark of Frequency. Spark of Focus is good for moment-to-moment gameplay when you've just popped a barricade, but you need to relocate yourself. It's really nice, Spark of Focus, especially for map rotation. Final Bosses comes in handy. Other places not as handy, but it is handy for the final boss for sure. And that final room. Obviously, Lupi goes on. He's the artifact mods, the armor mods won't go through it because there'll be a dim link. Weapon wise, Tina goes on because it can stun both barriers and unstops for me and is very useful. I'm using Elsie's rifle. Elsie's rifle's a very good weapon in the game right now, and repulsor brace, destabilizing round weapons are just very good and will be still very good next season. Elsie loved this gun, that's why she put her name on it. She didn't look at the law. Where does she say about rolls? Show me it. Show me where Elsie was twining about rolls. She didn't say nothing about it. She was having a deep conversation with Shax apparently. Hey, Elsie's rifle, it's a very good weapon. I figured I wanted to use it. And I like the origin trait on all of these weapons, obviously. And finally, Heart Shadow for utility. On a class that has high DPS, it isn't half a bad thing to use Heart Shadow in a solo utility way, especially on battleground GMs. And Heart Shadow comes into its own on a class that has all the damage. Arctine has all the damage in its kit. What it does not have is Invis. Heart Shadow has Invis. This is very good for newer players who struggle to stay alive in endgame content. You run Heart Shadow, especially when you're dunking batteries in a GM that's pretty difficult to most people. Heart Shadow will come in clutch for you. You'll see the footage. Alright, artifact mods, you got 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1, you saw them. Yep, that's the build information. Alright, in this run let's show off the Crest Titan build setup, being done in a solo GM environment, which it's Battleground Mars. I didn't go over the mods, did I? But I did the other day. Look at this lamppost movement. Showing off a little bit now in runs when I get bored. This is what happens at the back end of the season. Lamppost movement, look. I'm weak, I don't care. Look at this. Oh, and then we finish off with a two half 180 turns. It's alright, that, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to speed up the footage because I've showed this strat off yesterday and it's the same as that. In actual fact, I ended up messing up on this a little bit. But it doesn't matter. I just need to kill like 2 extra champs. It's no big deal. You want to damage B, damage A, and then completely damage C. Leave B and A up. Do not do it. Obviously, I explained this yesterday. Don't do what I'm doing now. I was testing to see if that Thrall would be calculated as an enemy for C. Because if you didn't know, Capture Point C has its own ads, and that's taken. Right? So I was just testing something, but I ended up getting punished for it. I ended up getting punished because I get 2 extra champs. So don't do that. You want to stand here and start doing some DPS with your ball charge stacks. Build up a bit of super energy as well, like so, for the VIP. Then you're going to damage B. Once that VIP goes around that corner, damage B. Then you're going to use Tina's, because Tina's has a unique ability, well all rocket sidearms do, to shoot round corners. So if I add hands behind the pillar, the rocket sidearm will do area effect damage and kill the ad, so you don't need to push up. Now I end up getting 2 extra acolytes, which you're not meant to. So what ends up happening is there's a ton of events because the champs are triggered by ads killed by capture point B. By a certain amount, we have killed more ads than what we should have done in this bit. But look at the cap point. It's basically capped. So I figured I would cap it there. It doesn't cap in time. I got a super, 2 champs appear. That's fine. I've got a waste super anyways. I've got a super to burn. I actually don't need this super for anything. So it's fine. I end up just using it on the cap point just to, fix the mess I made. Unstop and barrier. So we'll kill the unstop because obviously fists blinds. Make sure you're jumping up. Remember, fist damage is linked to height. If you don't do it properly, you won't get the damage properly. Remember, we're not using Symphoceps. So we're losing damage here because we're using Crest. But we do have Limit Break, which is 30% buff. So we're still buffing the super. And it's Arc Surge, so it's getting Arc Surge and Limit Break. So the super's just about enough. You were 1 cycle champs. So he's Crest Lupi. So you're literally a tank, honestly. And the harder the content is, the more useful Crest will be to you. You'll see it sometimes. It does save my life. The stakes are not high yet. They will be at the ghost cap zone. You will see more of how Crest will save my life, and it will in Edge of Fate. If I think on how Edge of Fate's going to work with the sandbox, and I know there's going to be melee based builds, but when you are DPS in a dungeon boss or a raid boss or in GM solo, being able to replicate the gameplay right now in Edge of Fate with Crest, with bolt charge stacks, will be a huge deal. Because remember, you'll lose and void detonation damage. It is lost. Lost to the Matrix. So that's what I'm saying. Lupi's going to fulfill that role. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because he's going to give you health back. Not just 1 stack. It's going to give you stacks on sustained damage. Bolt charge stack should synergize well. Now watch this. We're using Heart Shadow. So look at this. It's a VIP Bane. I go invis when weak. But look, I'm getting overshield. Because of Artifact. I don't want to pop super, but I will if I must. But I don't need to. Look, Heart Shadow does everything for me. Don't get me wrong, Heart Shadow is not on for this bit. It definitely is not. But it's actually alright. But it's, not on for this bit. And this is where we use super. This is why I wanted to save it, because I can double stun both unstops and kill them both. This is why you run Fists of Havoc. Don't run T-Crash in GMs. Don't need T-Crash. It's the biggest misconception in Destiny 2 is T-Crash usage. Not that T-Crash is bad. No, it's brilliant. T-Crash is brilliant. The problem is when people use it and when they shouldn't use it. The amount of Titans I see in LFG that die after T-Crash is unbelievable. They T-Crash a champ, they feel they're smart and clever, they kill the champ, and then they are cleaned up by ads surrounding the champ. They die. Because the T-Crash weakness is right after pop. This is where Fists of Havoc does not have that weakness. Fists of Havoc has its strength because you can exit strategy. You're super. You have super armor. T-Crash has super armor only during pop. After pop you have lost, it is lost. Fists of Havoc has super armor the entire duration, so it's got better armor resistance. And you get it back quicker. 3 times quicker. Fists is not as powerful in a team, but it is very powerful solo because all the ads are yours. So you can generate 3 times the amount of supers. Battleground GMs, Fists of Havoc's better than T-Crash. However, short GMs like, Warden and Nothing, Inside Terminus, then alright, T-Crash is better because your concern is only VIP targets and quick DPS to get to the next encounter. Battleground Mars, it's more dense, requires more of you. Like, look at this. We flashbang grenade the unstop, then we go right in with fist. Look at what it's doing though. I've cleared the champ, the acolytes, and the knight all in one. T-Crash would not have done that unless I had spawn killed them properly. Okay, we've used that. That's fine, because we don't need our super for a bit. So it's fine to use it. Look at the super generation as well, left-hand side. So I'm going to use a barricade there. Get rid of the barrier champ. And then go scan. I'm going to do this go scan, the full rotation. I never hide. Well, I don't go to the entrance is what I'm on about. So, this is how good it is. It's really good. Crest of Avalupa is really good for players who have less skill. This is the class for you. Yeah? Now, you can put Symphos on if you're lower in level. I've explained that as well in the past. I would say half a dozen times by now. Maybe more. Maybe way more than that. If you're lower in power, put Symphos on. Yeah? But if you're higher in power, you can get away without using Symphos. And if it's Arc Surge, you can get away without using Symphos as well. So right now, the overshields from Elsie's rifle is giving me a lot of damage. Look, here we go. We knew this was going to happen. That's why I turned round. I know the game's tricks. I know what he can do. That champ's a scammer. He's a con artist. Before he tried that with me, he was on the phone to a lot of other D2 Guardians trying to sell some scammy D2 weapons. He was trying to be like Zer. He was a con man. I call him a con. He was a con man, that. He tried to con me. I wasn't having it. I know that he TPs. There's a percentage that he might TP that unstop. Look round. Where's the unstop? He's behind me. He would be, wouldn't he? It's like that situation. You're talking about somebody's behind the back. And then the guy looks at you and he says, yeah, he's behind you. You've been talking about him. Behind you. That's happened to me, that. Because I do. Sometimes that happens. Look at this. Hard shadow gameplay comes in because, well, the hack progress will not stop. Only VIPs will stop it. Look, we're in danger here. Well, we're not, but we are. That's where, boom, Fist comes in. Look at what Fist does for me now. I was in danger. Now I'm not. The unstop will be dead. And the VIP is dead as well, right? The Knight? Yeah, the Knight's dead as well. So we cleared the unstop and the Knight with one super. And they were spread out. They weren't clumped up together. If the ads are not clumped up, T-Crash's power goes down because you can only super one of the VIPs because they've spread out. And that might happen. That's why I'm saying Battleground GMs, boom, Roman super, Roman super, Roman super. It's like beating a dead horse with some people. They won't believe it. Even though there's video footage out there showing you it. People are delirious. What's the word? I've got the wrong word. They're in denial. T-Crash Titan users are in denial over this. They hate it. They hate me showing this off. They absolutely despise it. Because it's successful. They don't. Some people just don't want to see you successful. That's as simple. Look at this. Lupi, I'm a tank. I'm full HP, which is nice. Because if bad RNG was to come my way, I would have enough health to tank it. This is tanky. So when people say the 80 health points is a non-factor, how is it? That's wrong as well. You have more hit points to tank more stuff. That is the nature of a tank build. Have you played an online MMO? I would hope so. I've played most of my life on Final Fantasy. Yeah? I know what your tank classes are, I know what your warrior classes are, and I know more hit points equals a better experience on the tank front. It is never a bad idea, especially for newer players, to have more hit points available to them. If you've got 10 billion ads in front of you and you have max health and you're slaying out, it's not just that, it's a mind thing as well. You feel so confident. Your gameplay might improve because you're so confident right now. At that moment, you're like, damn, look, I've got a Hypernova Bane to my right, an Unstop in the middle, a barrier to my left, but my health's full. You're going confident into an encounter. Now, if your shields are broken, your composure is broken. If your composure is broken, chances are you're going to make a mistake at some point. You make the mistake, it could be that the fact that you haven't whipped out Tina's quick enough. or Tina's has hit your own barricade and done self-damage. That's a small mistake. It's like a domino effect. The next thing, you let the unstop get out of hand. That's your next mistake. Then you get your shields broken. That's the third mistake. And then you're dead. So I'm trying to explain to you how a small set of circumstances can domino effect until death. You can be looking pretty, and then 10 seconds later you're dead and you're like, what? My run's over? I should know because I've died in GMs loads. So I'm trying to explain to people on how these unfortunate set of events can break your will in a run and you lose confidence in the run because of such things happening. But what I'm saying is if you have more hit points available to you, your composure will not be broken and you will still come through a sticky situation because you got more health. It's a mind thing. It's in your mind. That's what I'm on about with it. Yeah? Not seeing red health on your screen is a big advantage. That's why they make your shields be red. Because in our mind, when we see something red, it's a warning. That affects composure massive. I don't see red health. Crest of Alpha Lupi users don't see it. Barely do they see it. This is where you kill barriers. I don't need to really explain that, do I? Best place to stand. Melt them with Tinas. You've got enough ammo. You can do that. Now, the door has not opened yet. You've got to kill these ads. So that's what I was doing here because the door's not open. I was just wanting to run through, but it still hasn't triggered yet. I need to kill these for all. But yeah, don't manage your ammo now. There's no champs to kill. Well, there is if you fail, but we're banking on you not failing and doing the relics. And there's a heavy ammo pack to pick up before boss. So you don't need to manage sword ammo, nothing. I'm using Heart Shadow more as a utility weapon. It's not for burst DPS. I've actually only used it once or twice for burst damage, haven't I? Mind, it was clutch. On the ghost scan part, I was using it to capture the ghost quicker. Because like I told you, when you're capping the ghost, it's only the champs that stop it, not a acolyte. So you could go invis and wait and have a break. Go and get a sandwich. Come back. Heart Shadow grants infinite invis. Well, it grants the amount of invis that you have ammo for. So you use it, 6 seconds of invis, use it again, 6 seconds of invis, and so on and so forth. So to give a class like Arc Titan invis, you're broke on many levels. Because now, what you've got is, you've got Night Stalker built into your kit for free. Well, not for free, the penalty is that you have to use an exotic slot. But Arc Titan doesn't really need an exotic. I mean, Tina's is an exotic, isn't it? It has the gameplay lifestyle as an exotic. Tina's, the rocket sidearm. Elsie's rifle, whilst not exotic rarity, it's performing very well this season. Close to what Graviton Lance does. Close. It's not exactly 1 for 1, no. Graviton Lance will out damage Elsie's rifle because it's an exotic. They get a 30% buff. Flat. But what I'm saying is, there wouldn't be any need to run Graviton because Elsie's will do everything you want it to do for you anyways on Arc Titan at least. I'm just saying Arc Titan is absolutely lethal if you give it invis. Because now you've got everything in the game for you. DPS, survivability, ad clear, champ clear, and utility. It's got everything then. By just giving it Heart Shadow. It becomes more powerful if you're in a circumstance where you need to go invis and that's favourable. Battleground GM Mars, Battery Duncan is that circumstance. Any GM bosses that require map rotation, Heart Shadow is a very good pick to add invis to a class that doesn't have invis. We all know Night Stalker has invis, but we know that certain classes in the game like Solar Titan, Arc Titan, certain prismatic classes don't have invis. Giving invis via an exotic slot sometimes is worth it, and you'll see why it's worth it. We are going to do this because it's quicker. Video's 32 minutes and 4 seconds. If I don't do the cheese, then we're looking at 34 minutes and 17 seconds. So I'm going to ask you, what do you want? 32 and 4, 34 and 17. Which one? Do you want the longer video or short video? Because that's what it comes down to. Especially on Ball Charge Titan, just stand up here. You're soloing it, just stand up here. It's basically the same outcome, just that, well, just that it's quicker. It's easier. Look, just pop barricade, pop barricade. You know why I'm doing this as well? I want 10 billion ads up because I want to show off the invis as much as possible. So I'm actually doing it for that reason as well. I don't want to kill the ads because I want to show you. I want to show Heart Shadow saving my life, which I do that in runs. Certain runs I'll purposely play in a certain way to proactively show off a gameplay loop to you, and that's not just right now today. That's scaling up to all of the exotics that I've used in all of the GMs over the years. We will purposely play in a particular way to show off the exotic in the best possible light because it's a YouTube video and people are watching it. That's ultimately what it is, isn't it? Yeah, if I was not recording this, well then, maybe I wouldn't play like this. It would be a little different. But we've got a video to make. Now look at this invis. Boss was below me. I've got to all look at that. Then I can get a good engagement on the unstop. So look at what that's done there. I've diaggroed the ads with Heart Shadow completely. Then went to middle and then killed my unstop because the unstop needs to die. If you don't kill the unstop, he's a problem later on. Barrier is the second problem, but he's not the first. Notice we're prioritising it. Unstop is your number one problem. Barrier champ is number two. Then wizards. Because there's loads of wizards up. I'm going to thin the room a little bit. As the wizards are spread out a little bit. But if you settle on right place, the wizards, if there are left, they're going to go to mid. So then I can establish how many wizards up. Because right now I don't know. Is there 3 wizards, 2 wizards, 4 wizards? I don't know. That's what I want to establish by standing here. Because the room will what's known as settle. And the ads will go to where they want to play from. Whereas if you're fresh off an encounter with a champ, the ads are sort of spread out because of that. The AI is spread out. So letting the AI settle in mid. Look, they're starting to settle. Do you see the room? Wizards in middle, I know. So now the room is shown to me. Look, wizards to my left mid. I get weak. Where there you go. Lupi. 27 minutes 49 seconds. That's my timestamp for power today. The Crest of Alpha Lupi villains, they're coming to my comments today. Boom, I've got power. 27 minutes 49. Boom, I love hitting people with timestamps, especially when I'm right, because we love to be right. We all, as humans, we all like to be right at some points. So I hit them with a power timestamp like that. That chesses them. They left chat. That's it. They're done. And if they've missed that timestamp, and then they check the timestamp, they're screwed. It's game over. I've timestamped a lot of people in my time. We're talking years of timestamped people, proving them wrong. Don't get me wrong, people prove me wrong as well. It's not just that way around. But yeah, that does happen a lot. Now I'm going to fist here. Why? Because I want to thin the room and the wizard. That wizard becomes a problem later on. Getting rid of that wizard now, I may as well. I can, yes, just go in Viz, which you're seeing that. So the playback loop is kill the knight with whatever means, then go in Viz, then pick up battery. Look at how easy this is. For people who cannot solo this is the strat. There's definitely not an easier strat than this. In terms of just overall, somebody off the street running this. If somebody could not do this and they were on an Arc Titan and said, I still can't do it, I would say to them, go and run Heart Shadow then, look how easy it is. It diaggros everything. Look, there's a wizard in mid, I'm confident. Generally, if I didn't have invis like that, that would have went a little different. I would have had to kill the wizard in advance. But look at this gameplay. Look at what that's done. Heart Shadow has cleared the wizard, the danger. So it's clearing out middle and I'm diaggroing the ads. That's so vicious. This makes Graviton Forfeit obsolete. Basically, this is giving you Hunter Nightstalk levels of gameplay on an Arc Titan. An Arc Titan is way, way better than Nightstalker. So do you see why this is broken? This isn't just me messing and saying, oh, look at this, it's Heart Shadow. No, no, no. No, no, this is like giving invis to a Titan. It's vicious because Titans shouldn't have invis, not an Arc one at least. Prismatic Titan has it, yes, we know that. I've already showed that gameplay a million times. But like I say, on an Arc Titan having invis like that, that's crazy. Look at how easy the dunks was. That's the hardest part of Battleground Mars. He's killing them wizards. He's dunking. Whilst Arc Titan's brilliant in the world, it is. It's not brilliant for dunks. It's not the best class in the world. Devour Warlock's better. Concentration Titan's good. Of course it is. But like I say, talking Arc Titan strictly, it's not brilliant for this room. Heart Shadow buffs it massive. Because your only goal is battery, dunks, wizard. That is your only goal, no other goal. Then after that it's DPS, of course. So yeah, if you are somebody that's watching this, you still have not soloed this GM, run a very powerful DPS build with Heart Shadow as a utility exotic. You can only do that though as long as your special and your primary are good weapons. Then you can do this. If you're running weak weapons, then you're going to have Heart Shadow carry you a little bit, and then that's not going to work so good. Yeah, so your build at base needs to be very good damage, then this works. That was a solo GM with this, using the Lupi build that's due to be buffed in Edge of Fate. Hope you enjoy, thank you.